Alright, hello friends, Axel here. So this is a quick follow-up to the previous video, the Cyberpunk 2077 on deck video. First thing I want to mention, if the game does look blurrier, like in these videos, let me emphasize that is like, I think it's something going on with my capture card. It does not look nearly as fuzzy like when actually playing on deck. I think it's just something fucked with my capture card. But the main thing I want to address in this video, which I should have gotten into a spot where I can actually demonstrate the thing, one of the first things I showed off in said video was a bug that I had with the elevator control panels. As it turns out, it's not a Steam Deck bug. It's actually a bug with the in-game settings. So let me go to an elevator real quick, because turns out there's a very simple solution, and that it is also a bug that I would not have run into if I didn't insist on using Steam input settings. So, kind of sort of self-inflicted, but also an issue with the game. So, hold on. Let's just get to the apartment building here. And let's get to the elevator. We might need to wait for it to come down. Okay, we need to wait for it to come down. Dude, you and your friend here have been standing here with her, like, drunk or something for, like, literal weeks. Like, you good? Elevators here, gotta go. So, right now, I have everything set the same way as the last video, and as you'll see, I walk up to the panel, no cursor. So, as it turns out, you'll also notice as I D-pad through everything, the on-screen cursor stays there. It's not supposed to stay there. So, what got me thinking was also as I was going, because I remembered in the previous one I mentioned, like, if you play through remote play, it doesn't happen. And you know what else happened with remote play? My control settings were slightly different that way. As it turns out, if you have the inner dead zone set to 0 in-game, the game never realizes if you're not pressing on one of your sticks, even though in my Steam input settings, my sticks, these should be set to controller preference. Yes, that's controller preference and controller preference. And if I go to my controller settings in Steam, you will see we do have a dead zone in Steam, but because the inner dead zone here is set to 0, the game thinks that there's always stick input happening. So, if I set this to even 0.01, even just the slightest bit above 0, close out that, gonna walk away from the panel, make sure we're looking at it, I walk up to it as I'm walking, notice there's no cursor, I let go of walking, there's our fucking cursor, we can just use the elevators as normal, no need for the fucking open and close Steam overlay workaround. So, so for most people, they probably don't even run into that bug because they might not even adjust the dead zone settings. I only did, and it was one of the first things I did, because I'm like, oh, well, I just have a dead zone set in Steam input anyway, so I'll just put the in-game 1 to 0 in case I need to do, like, gyro to joystick instead of gyro to mouse. And that meant my entire fucking playthrough of the game, I was dealing with that bug. So yeah, don't have the inner dead zone in the game settings set to 0. You won't be able to use elevators normally. So anyway, that's all I wanted to cover in this. And again, any extra blurriness in the video, it does look better when actually playing on deck. I think it's just an issue with my capture card. Like, I tried adjusting settings in OBS and stuff. I think maybe it looks slightly better here than it did in the previous video. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Something going on with that. I need to investigate that a little more, but it does look clearer actually on deck. And I think, like, the Steam game recording footage at the end of that video was also a bit cleaner than the capture card footage. So yeah, I need to figure out something with my recordings. I might just end up having to do, like the Steam game recording for the footage instead of my capture card, which is gonna be a little awkward to sync things up, but it should lead to cleaner footage. So I don't know. I'll figure that out. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Leave suggestions for the next game for this series I should cover. And yeah, next time though, next video is going to be something completely different, except for the Linuxy part of stuff. That'll be the same. Anyway, goodbye friends. Take care. Okay, quick little addendum. Actually, I had another thought on the whole blurriness thing. So I also realized I did have things set to FSR 3, and I'm thinking, okay, what if that's why things look so blurry? So this is FSR 3, this scene we're looking at right now. Is FSR 3 enabled? I do notice in the distance past like the fighting ring there, that's definitely blurry around like the yellow part. So let's try ZESS instead, or XESS, not Z. And let's see. Like, okay, it doesn't look as pixely. It does not look as pixely. Still a little fuzzy though, around some stuff where it doesn't quite look like that on the Dex screen. So I don't know. Might be an FSR issue. Might be an issue of the capture card. I'm not 100% sure. Might be a little bit of both. Let's try quality. Here's the ESS quality. Yeah, like I'm noticing some fuzziness on like the little icon in the distance above the 30M over there. Like that's also a little blah. But yeah. No, it definitely looks a little sharper on the Dex screen itself. And then also, just so we have like a control reference, let's turn off resolution scaling and see that. That actually doesn't look that different from XESS quality. I keep saying ZESS because I think in my head like ZES, but no, it's XESS. Yeah. I don't know how you pronounce it. The Intel thing. Anyway, yeah, that doesn't actually look that different from native to me. I don't know. Let's try turning it back on. Let's try FSR 2 as well. So, okay, or 2.1. That's FSR 2.1. We'll, let's do quality mode on each of those. Let's see. So, okay, so FSR 2.1 quality. Okay, yeah, definitely noticing some, like, aliasing in the distance, like, above the icon over there. And also, like, the wires on the thing hanging above the fighting ring, definitely jaggy over there. Let's do FSR 3 again. Set it to quality. And, okay, that's still pretty bad. Oh, wait, no. The wires on the hanging thing fix themselves, actually. They're less jagged. In the distance, though, above the icon. Still pretty bad. Okay. And let's go back to XESS. Still on quality. Close that. And yeah, it's a lot more smoothed out on the thing in the distance for sure. So yeah. So I don't know, any blurriness probably related to was it resolution scaling stuff. You can't always play with the resolution scaling off. Your frame rate will take a hit, but, you know, that is also an option. I think in general, you can have a much nicer experience streaming this game to your deck from a better PC. But, you know, if your Steam Deck is your primary device and you don't want to stream stuff, it's not going to be as noticeable playing on the Steam Deck. Anyway, that's it for this addendum. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it on XESS because that does look better than FSR. Anyway, that's all for this one. Goodbye, friends. Bye.